Now, from the Bay Area's local news station, you're watching KRON4 News at 5.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern.
The Wuhan coronavirus now an official worldwide threat.
We have a reported positive result from the CDC lab.
And the United States is confirming its first person-to-person transmission of the virus, where the death toll stands tonight, and what the U.S. government is doing to contain the virus. Thanks for joining us, everyone, at 5 o'clock. I'm Grant Lotus.
And I'm Vicki Liviakis. The World Health Organization now declaring the Wuhan coronavirus epidemic as an international public health emergency, acknowledging that the virus now represents a health risk outside of China.
The United States is also now reporting its first case of human-to-human transmission. That was reported today. The newly infected patient is the husband of a Chicago woman who recently returned from Wuhan, China. She also has the virus, and this brings the number of confirmed cases in the U.S. to 6, 2 in Chicago, 1 in Arizona, 1 in Washington State, and 2 in Southern California, in L.A. and Orange counties.
Tonight, the death toll stands at 213, with more than 9,800 cases confirmed. Today's WHO declaration is officially called a public health emergency of international concern. The announcement serves notice to all United Nations member states that the world's top health advisory experts rate this situation as serious. Countries can then decide whether to close their borders, which Russia has done, cancel flights and screen people at the airports. But the WHO says that they are not yet recommending limiting international trade.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus. There is no reason for measures that unnecessarily interfere with international travel and trade. So WHO doesn't recommend limiting transfer or trade and movement.
Also want to remind you about this tool that is now available. It's an interactive map that tracks the virus across the globe. It was engineered by researchers at Johns Hopkins University. It is updated with new data in real time. To check out the map, you can head to our website, KRON4.com. And here in the Bay Area, public health officials say people who have recently traveled to China are being screened for the virus.
But as KRON4's Philippe Jagal reports for us tonight, so far, the virus has not reached us, not yet.
At this point, Dr. Chris Farnetano, a health officer with Contra Costa Health Services, says the flu presents a greater threat to the Bay Area than the coronavirus.
This year alone, there's been 8 million people sickened with the flu. There's been 14,000 hospitalizations with the flu in the U.S., and there's been thousands of deaths.
Still, Farnetano says as he and other doctors learn more about coronavirus, a group of respiratory viruses that includes the common cold, he says what's known now is that symptoms range from breathing problems, coughing, and pneumonia to a high fever. It can also spread from coughing and hand-to-hand contact.
We are closely working with the CDC to test any individuals who might be at risk.
So far, no cases of the coronavirus have been reported in Contra Costa County, let alone the Bay Area.
It seems to be most severely affecting the elderly and those with chronic illnesses.
He says washing your hands or frequently using hand sanitizer if soap and water are not available can prevent the virus from spreading.
If you do have a cough, cover your cough, cough or sneeze into your elbow.
There is no vaccine for coronavirus, but Farnetano suggests getting the flu shot if you haven't already. In Contra Costa County, Philippe Jagal, KRON4 News.
We first told you about the confirmed person-to-person spread of coronavirus in the U.S. through a push alert. To stay up to date on breaking news, download the KRON4 News app. Grant?
Now to another big story we have been tracking this week, 2 days after a San Francisco city employee was arrested by the FBI for alleged corruption. City leaders are now calling for an outside investigation. Today, San Francisco's Mayor London Breed told KRON4's Zeke Medyoun an independent investigator is in fact already working the case.
These 3 San Francisco supervisors are joining together to turn up the heat on Mayor London Breed to select an independent investigator outside of City Hall to handle the Department of Public Works scandal, which involves allegations of corruption, bribery, side deals, and the arrest of longtime Director of Public Works, Mohamed Nuru.
It is both necessary and appropriate to identify a completely independent investigator.
We absolutely cannot rely on the executive branch of government in the city and county of San Francisco to investigate itself.
The people of San Francisco deserve accountability, transparency, and honesty.
Well, I think it's really unfortunate that the supervisor spends a lot of time chasing headlines instead of doing his homework to get the facts.
As for an independent investigation into the Nuru Public Works scandal,
the fact is the city attorney's office is a independently elected city attorney, and I asked him to do an investigation 3 days ago.
Mayor London Breed asked both the city attorney and the city controller to review the federal charging documents and any implicated contracts to make sure that they comply with city law. And she asked that they make recommendations on how to strengthen contracting procedures. These San Francisco supervisors insist hiring an outside investigator is the best way to make that happen.
If the city of San Francisco is truly committed to holding itself accountable and earning back the public's trust, then this is how we do it.
In San Francisco, Hazik Madyun, KRON4 News.
And KRON4 has been following this story all week. On Monday, San Francisco Public Works Director Mohammed Nuru was taken into custody along with restaurant owner Nick Bovis. On Tuesday, both were charged with honest services wire fraud and later released on $2 million bond each. According to the criminal complaint, one of the 5 schemes included a bribe made to an unnamed airport commissioner with $5,000 cash and free travel in exchange for assistance to win a bid for the right to run a restaurant in the airport. The FBI says that cash and the whole deal was not accepted. A KRON4 source tells us the commissioner in question is Linda Creighton, who yesterday submitted a resignation letter to Mayor Breed citing multiple medical conditions.
All right, turning now to our countdown to the Super Bowl. Time to talk a little Niners. Tonight, KRON4 has team coverage from the Bay Area down to Miami.
Yeah, we'll get to Kate Rooney momentarily. She's at Hard Rock Stadium, but we first want to head to the South Bay, and that's where we find KRON4's Rob Flattabo as the Niners are getting ready for the game on Sunday. Rob, what's the vibe there?
Well, the vibe is that 49er fans are quite literally flocking to Miami, Grant. The latest flight here out of San Jose should be touching down in Miami right about now. I saw at least a couple of dozen 49er fans get on board today, all dressed in their red and gold, many of them sporting great big smiles, some of them carrying good luck charms, and some very pricey tickets. Let's take a look. His good luck charm pineapple lovingly tucked under one arm, Jesse Mendez is bound for the Super Bowl.
I can't get the smile off my face. I woke up this morning, popped up, it was ready to go.
This was the scene at the airport in San Jose Thursday as 49er fans arrived for their flight to Miami amid high expectations for yet another 49er victory in the Super Bowl.
We're just going to go and enjoy the party and just have a good time in Miami. Been there before and it was a good time, so I can't even imagine what it's going to be like.
It is Party City. I think there's going to be a party wherever you're at. So just being there in that whole environment is going to be great.
It's going to go. We're bringing it back. Lombardi's coming back to the Bay.
Where are you ladies headed?
Miami!
Monica DeHaro showed me her $5,500 ticket that came with a credential for a special pregame tailgate party.
They're so worth it, though. It's so worth it.
You're a longtime fan, or are you on the bandwagon?
No, we've been a longtime fan, and she's a season pass holder, so.
Don't tell my wife. Don't tell my wife. It set us back a pretty penny. But
Gene Brock wouldn't say what his ticket cost, only that he couldn't say no. Right. And there was Gustavo Gonzalez, who will touch down in Miami without a ticket. You need a miracle?
No, not a miracle. Just somebody that has them that didn't sell theirs. And to what I've heard of people that have gone to past Super Bowls, it happens often. So.
With or without a ticket, 49er fans will be well represented on Sunday. Jesse Mendez is hoping his good luck charm won't need one.
And he's been to every game. He's traveled to New Orleans with me, and now he's going to the Super Bowl. And as you can see, he hasn't lost a smile off his face yet either if he found out he was going to the Super Bowl.
On our way. All right. We're bringing it back.
Now, interestingly enough, I ran into at least 3 different people who did not have a ticket as they got on board that plane, a ticket to the Super Bowl, that is, and are fairly confident that they can score a ticket in Miami at the last minute. If not, well, I'm sure there are other things for them to do, and that game will be on in lots of bars and restaurants. Live in San Jose, Rob Flattable, KRON4 News.
All right, Rob, loved Jesse's good luck charm there. Heading now to Miami for a special 49ers report with KRON4's Kate Rooney.
She's live at Hard Rock Stadium tonight. Kate, I know the team's been there for several days, but are celebrities, former Niners greats starting to arrive? Do you sense the day is arriving when they're going to actually play a game?
Hey Grant, hey Vicky. Yeah, it is starting to seem a little bit more real. I was over at Radio Row earlier in the day today, saw the actor Miles Teller, saw Frank Gore, saw Jeff Garcia, a bunch of other former players, not just 49er greats, but NFL greats roaming that area. So everyone's starting to get into town. Now, as for the 49ers, today was the last day we're going to hear from them for a while. It was their final media obligation before the Super Bowl. And I have to say, the players seemed very happy and relaxed as they answered a lot of the same questions that they've already answered this week. Now, it was a busy day for them. They came to that session right after practice, and head coach Kyle Shanahan and quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo seemed pretty pleased with how the practice sessions have been going.
You know, this year there was 2 times we went away and stayed away for the week. So this is our 3rd time we've had a trip away for a week as a team. And it's been really the exact same schedule. So the guys have been very used to it. What's changed is at night we've had an hour media obligation 3 of the nights that we've been here. So that's been different. Besides that, we've been able to keep the routine the same. Right now, right after this, we're exactly on our routine. I know our families are going to get here tonight. So are always on our schedule. We get out a little bit earlier on Thursday. So hopefully the guys can see their families tonight like they would on a normal Thursday. Tomorrow it'll be the same routine. We'll be doing red zone again and putting that stuff in. You get out somewhat earlier and make it an early Friday night, and we'll have our Saturday walkthrough. And we usually go to the hotel on Saturdays. We're already here. So that'll be smooth and we'll be ready to go.
Practice has been great. It really has been. We've been over at Miami, the U, and they've been treating us great over there. I wouldn't say I've had a highlight so far. I think we had a hell of a day today at practice. Yesterday was great too. And it's just, it's great being around these guys. We only got one more practice after this and another walkthrough, but just, the whole year it's been unreal.
So we talked about how the scene is really starting to heat up here in Miami. I asked some of the players what they've been doing in their off time. They really haven't been enjoying any of that scene. They've been trying to stick to their normal schedule, like Kyle Shanahan said, and that includes going to bed as early as 9 o'clock for a lot of these guys. But the party is getting started here. Concerts, parades, all kinds of events every night for the fans. The players, though, probably won't be enjoying any of that.
Well, Kate, I got to ask you, there was one marriage proposal apparently for Jimmy G. Were you there for that? I imagine that's the first of many.
I didn't get to witness the marriage proposal, but he did tell the reporter that he will take a rain check. So I guess he's saying there's a chance.
Good for him.
Well, hopefully he's the one who's going to Disney World. That's not too far away in Orlando, and maybe he can propose then if things move quickly with that arrangement.
Okay.
Kate Rooney.
Thank you, Kate.
Appreciate it. I know you got a lot going on, so thanks for checking in. Still to come, Niners fans living the dream in Miami. We take a look at the official Super Bowl fan experience.
And state lawmakers working to find a solution to California's housing crisis. Why a controversial housing bill did not pass today in Sacramento.
And still to come, as we continue to count it down to Super Bowl 54, we hear from the guy we've been talking about, Jimmy Garoppolo, as he reflects on this season. Not sure if he's going to talk marriage. Jason Dumas is with us next.
Hi, I'm meteorologist Lawrence Carno. A lot of sunshine around the Bay Area, a couple patches of fog out near the coastline. Get ready for a spring-like day tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up next.